Yo guys, welcome to ShayanGaming. Today we are going to be talking about the new ADC coming to the league, which is Kai'Sa, and I'm very excited because I'm an ADC main, so this should be very fun. Yes, before you ask, you can actually get rid of the helmet if you want by pressing Control 5. It takes a while, or it might just be the insane lag of PvE, and you can put it back on, so yeah. In this video, we're just going to be going through the abilities in quite a bit of detail, as well as talking about some potential builds and other stuff, so I hope you enjoy. Now, when it comes to Kai'Sa's Q, you actually don't target this ability. It only highlights and appears when you're in range of enemies. So right now we're in range of enemy minions, we can press Q, and it basically focuses everyone equally. So if we just turn our refreshers on, so if we stand here, it'll just focus everyone, including the minions and the enemy champion, and it does not prioritize the enemy champion, it just kind of hits whoever's in the area. Another thing is you can actually do your Q over the wall, so just because they're in range, you can press it and it will focus them, so you don't have to be like actually seeing them. You can also move while you're pressing Q. Perhaps the most useful thing to know about a Q is you can do it while you're in the bush and they have no idea you're there, so you can just tap it and it's a really nice surprise thing to do. Another interesting thing is while you're actually auto-attacking, you can Q at the same time. So we're going to do this against turret because there's some problem when I show it on something else. So as you can see, the auto-attack's dealing 51 damage, and if we press Q right now, you still see the 51 coming normally. So you can actually auto-attack and Q at the same time, which is really useful to maximize your DPS. Your Q ability will focus all 6 things in that circle, but if you upgrade it, you actually can focus 12 things, which is pretty good. And your Q actually deals 200% damage to minions below 35% health, so if you're struggling to farm, or there's loads of things that you need to farm at the same time, because they're all low, then you could use your Q, and I know I just flopped that right now, but oh well. Now, some of her abilities actually can be upgraded, such as Q, W, and E, and it's called the Living Weapon, as you can see in the description near the bottom, and this is because of her passive. But to do that, and this is what's really interesting about Kai'Sa, is you need to get a certain amount of stats. So either you can get 100 bonus attack damage from buying some Infinity Edges, or while you level up you'll get bonus AD anyway. So right now I don't have any AD items, but it says current bonus 17 in orange at the bottom, just above the minions part, and that's just through leveling up. But if I buy some AD, like 2 Infinity Edges will be enough. And by the way, as you can see the yellow bar there, that means the progress you've made to upgrading the ability. So it says in brackets on the description, current 87, so that's 87% highlighted, and over there that's an attack speed one that you need. We've got 30% bonus attack speed, and yeah, that's just through leveling up. And W, we don't actually get any AP as we level up, so we just have to buy AP straight out, but we'll get to those abilities in a bit. So far with the Q, if I buy one more Infinity Edge, and suddenly there's the upgrade here, and this is kind of like Kha'Zix's upgrades. You do that, and yeah, and this is what I meant about it increases the missiles that you can shoot to 12. But the interesting thing is, as soon as you sell the items, so I'll do it now, we actually see that we lose our bonus, and to get it back we just have to buy it again, which means we have to upgrade it again and go through that animation. So you can change during game, which is pretty interesting. So if I show you the damages done, not jamages, if we press it right now, we did a total of 154 damage, and just do it once again while I get the next one up so you can see it's the same number, 154. And if we put another dummy here and we press Q, then yeah, it just splits it between them. But as you can see, when there was both of them there, it did 99 to each total damage. But when there's only one of them there, which is what I'm doing now, just making sure it's just one of them, it does 154. So it doesn't exactly split them in half. It just means that your total damage around when you're using it against loads of things is actually greater than the total damage you'd get if you were just using it on one person. And I mean total as in spread out across everyone and summed up. So basically if you're against an enemy champion, you do more specific damage by just doing it against them alone, rather than splitting it up between loads of people like in a wave. The more AD you buy, the more damage each missile will do, and the more maximum damage you can deal against, let's say, an individual champion by itself, and you know, with the damage not being split. When it comes to Kai'Sa's passive stacks, she can actually attack other enemies and the stack won't vanish, so this is still there even though I attacked another minion. The stacks last 4 seconds however, so if you want to get all your combo off, you got to do it in those 4 seconds. And as you level up, it'll still always be 4 seconds, so yeah. Buying AD doesn't actually increase the damage that you do per stack. It's only AP that you can buy to affect it. So this means the more AP you have, the more each auto attack will deal more bonus magic damage, and the explosion of the 4 stack will deal percentage of the enemy's missing health as percent health damage. The only way to explode the 4th stack is either an auto attack, having an allied champion to immobilize the enemy, but this only works with enemy champions, not if, for example, your ally was to immobilize the blue buff. And you can also detonate it by Wing, which in this case gives us 2, so automatically apply the 4th one and explode the stack, which is pretty cool, but we'll get to that later. Now your W hits the first thing that it hits, pretty much, so you can't, for example, try to aim for the enemy champion, but there's minions in the way, it won't work. You can indeed hit anything with it and it will automatically give them 2 stacks, which is really useful later on. And if you upgrade it, which actually requires 100 AP, just as we did before with the Q, then you actually apply 3 stacks, which is pretty nice because you can actually explode the stacks with the stacks, if that makes any sense. Let me just show you quickly by getting the AP items. So just like before, we do the upgrade, and if we press it once, W, it will already apply 3 stacks, and we can just shoot it again, and yeah, it will just explode the stack because it adds 1, we have 4, then adds another, it explodes it, and ends up with having 1 stack afterwards. So you can actually explode stacks with W, as mentioned earlier. But obviously, I have cooldowns completely refreshed all the time, so if we turn that off, what we could do is just auto attack, W, auto attack, and it just makes it quicker as expected. And you always do want to hit the champion because it does bring the cooldown down by 50%, so we just went from 10 to 50 seconds, and that only works with hitting a champion. And ignore the the purple circle that you just saw, that's something to do with the ultimate, we'll talk about it soon. W, once again, just like Q, can have its damage increased by buying AD or AP, but it does magic damage, whereas Q actually did attack damage. So E is a really interesting ability. As soon as you press it, you get a fixed bonus movement speed. So if I press E now, you see it's 529. It's not a decay bonus, it's a fixed bonus. And while you've got that movement speed bonus, that's actually when you're charging the ability, which at the very beginning it's 1.5 seconds, but we've bought some items and leveled up. Well, we've leveled up, the items aren't attack speed. We've leveled up, so it's kind of gone down to 1.15 at the moment, as you can see in the red font. But once this charge period's finished, then you'll get bonus attack speed for 5 seconds, and this attack speed bonus is always 5 seconds, no matter what level you are. But the amount of attack speed you get does change with your level, but not with items. So at the moment, because we're level 18, it's 80% bonus attack speed, which is pretty nice. So in case you don't know what that looks like, let's just use it now. And yeah, it looks like it's 80% more faster. Damn, who would have known? But at the very beginning of the game, I believe it is 40%. Let's just check this right now. Yes, 40%. And nothing can actually disrupt your charge, which is really interesting. So if I'm being attacked, let's say there's a turret attacking me as well, I can still press E. Oh wait, the lag just went insane. But okay, 335 movement speed. We're being attacked, we press E. Our attack speed bonus is still there, it's at 1.43, and after 5 seconds it should go down. Yep, there it is. But that's pretty nice that you can do this, so while you're escaping and getting attacked, you can still get that bonus speed. However, while you're charging, you can't auto attack or pretty much do anything. You can't use other abilities as well, so if I spam Q, nothing's happening. But you can use your summoners, so you can flash away and heal and whatever. Your basic attacks, which is one reason to get some attack speed, actually reduces the cooldown of it by 0.5 seconds every time you auto attack. So right now it's at 12. And every time we auto attack, you see the ability flash because, well, you know, it just means we're reducing the cooldown. And the reduction that you get from attacking does not change throughout the game, it's always 0.5 seconds. And as you buy attack speed items throughout the game, the cooldown of it decreases and the bonus movement speed increases. So right now it's 1.15 and 78%. And if we buy loads of attack speed items, it will go to 0.75, which is the lowest, and 120% movement speed, which looks like this. Looks pretty cool. And to upgrade this ability, you need 100% attack speed. And right now we have 170%, bonus attack speed. These are all bonuses, the AD, AP, and attack speed are bonuses, so not what it appears here because, you don't see a percent there anyway. And what the bonus does is gives you invisibility for the majority of the charge time. So when you're doing that, well, when you're getting the movement speed bonus, you're actually invisible. So because at level 18, the charge time is 0.75 seconds, and your movement speed, your invisibility is 0.5 seconds. The majority of it you're invisible, but I wouldn't, this is kind of like a very, very quick engage type of thing to do. But it's good because if someone's chasing you and attacking you, you can just go invisible and they can't attack you. So good, wow. But also you can't use the invisibility to sneak past turrets. So if I press E and just do like a walk into the turret, it will detect me. The time that you're invisible is very small. Now, one interesting thing to know about your ultimate is that it is basically like a teleport or dash or whatever you want to call it. So the mastery, your rune sudden impact does apply. And if you look here, this is the armor penetration. So if we attack him once, then ult to him, then attack him again, we will activate the mastery. So dash, auto attack, and there you go. You got the 10 lethality there taking effect. You can only warp to enemy champions, so you can't, for example, apply a stack using your W to a jungle monster and then click on it and warp to try and escape danger, which is sad, but you know, it is how it is. And just as a reminder again, you can either auto attack, have an allied champion immobilize them to apply stacks, or you can W to apply stacks, and that is how you can warp to an enemy champion only. And when they're applied with a stack, even if you auto attack them, they'll always have that red circle thing. I mean, it keeps saying red, I mean purple, so that you can dash to them. But remember, the stacks only last 4 seconds, so you only have 4 seconds to use your ultimate, otherwise it's just going to disappear and you can't do anything. No! And the shield that you get when you dash to them will always last 3 seconds no matter what your level is, and it can be increased by buying AD or AP, or both if you're feeling crazy. What happens when you're leveling up an ability, like what sort of things get changed? So let's just get everything once. This is without any items, we're just level 3, and I'm just gonna do this to make it easier. So every time you upgrade your Q, your damage per missile will increase, your maximum damage when you're like focusing one person specifically, and your cooldown will decrease. With your W, cooldown and the base damage of it will increase, and with your E, once again as expected, cooldown, the attack speed bonus you get, and the base movement speed bonus that you get as well. And with your ultimate, the range will increase, and the range is actually, I believe it's smaller than your W's range, so your W goes all the way to here, and your ultimate is just there, but the range does increase. So we increase it once, let's just see how much difference that made. So W is there still, ultimate's there. Will we ever catch up? That's the question. Let's find out. But before we find out, the shield value also increases, the AD ratio of how much shield you get more when you buy AD, and of course the cooldown goes down. So let's see our final range of 2,500. It's not over 9,000, which is sad. This is our W's range, and ultimate nearly there. So even if you W'd something, you still have to keep walking. But you can use your E to get movement speed bonus, and then, yeah, if it was a champion, it would have looked so cool. Oh well. Now in terms of combos, you always kind of want to get the E off at the beginning, because obviously the E will give you the the 5 seconds bonus attack speed. So, and if you do have the invisibility, the good thing is you can run up to them without taking damage because you will be invisible. So if we do this, they can't attack us, we've got the bonus thing. Always try to Q at the same time as your auto attacks, because that will obviously, well, that's something you can do at the same time. And if they start running away, use your W to get them and ult towards them and kill them. But I think it's better if you can to try and get the W off first, because it just gives you 2 more stacks, or 3 more stacks if you've upgraded your W. So if you can do this, do that. But then the problem with that is, after you W them, they're going to start trying to attack you, and then if you want to E and you haven't got the invisibility, you're just taking free damage and you can't attack because you're charging. But I think it's probably a good combo to do once you have the bonus attack speed, so that you can go invisible and not take damage. So in terms of the builds that I'd like to use, this is kind of an all-around build where we're maximizing AD, but we also have enough AP to get the bonus from the W, and enough attack speed to get the bonus from the attack speed. I don't know what I just said, but I meant to say the bonus necessary to get the invisibility. So we'd start off with an Infinity Edge and Essence Reaver, because just CDR is really nice on this champ, being able to spam your Q all the time. And that will get us 157 bonus AD, which is enough to evolve the ability. Now, the reason I have Death Cap here is because this is, from what I understand, is probably the only item that you can get as one item to get the required 100 AP. Because if you were to get, for example, a Luden's Echo and a Lich Bane, you'll be able to evolve it, but you kind of have one less inventory space to get something else. And you can't really do it with just Luden's, because it only gives you 90. And, well, we need more. But it is a bit random having a death cap, so I admit that. But at least we get the W and we have more space for AD items. Now for the attack speed, you could either get Phantom Dancer, which gives you 45%, or Runance, which gives you 40%. I believe if you get Runance, you're kind of forced to get the Berserker boots. So if we look at our attack speed bonus, it's 70% right now. But if we get Berserker, then it should be fine. Yep, 105%. And that leaves us room to get one extra item that I'd probably... because you kind of might want some lifesteal and some more attack speed, because you only have one item, you could get Blade of Ruin King. But if you want to not get Runance Hurricane, because you could just use your Q as wave clear, because at that point in time it does quite a bit of damage. So if you treat your Q as your Runance Hurricane and get rid of Runance Hurricane, then if you get Phantom Dancer, you can actually sell your boots, I believe. Yes, you can. So if you sell your boots and you just have Phantom Dancer, you have just enough attack speed. So you, wait, this is meant to update. I swear this is meant to update. Wait, what's going on here? Oh, I thought I sold the boots. What's going on here? Did it lag? I think it lagged. So yeah, now we have, it still hasn't sold the item. Oh my god, the PvE lag is real. Okay, sell. Let's wait. It's back there. Okay, this is strange. But as soon as we sell it, it should say 100%. But yeah, just, I mean, 135 minus 35 is 100. So you could get rid of the boots and you could buy another boots. Let's actually see if that fixes the lag problem. If we buy these, does it? Oh wow, it does. Nice. So yeah, 100% attack speed bonus now, and you can also get new boots. So like this, we also have one of everything, just to see what sort of damage this does. I mean, I don't know why I'm fighting the Herald, but yeah, this is what it looks like. Now, of course, you might need Lord Dominic's Regards, or a Guardian Angel maybe, so sometimes you might have to sacrifice one of these evolved abilities. And if you just want to go the normal ADC route, obviously you'd give up the AP. But then if you have no AP, you'll be dealing no bonus damage on your auto attack. So it's kind of like you have to figure out what you want. So let's actually compare the build we have now with just a normal ADC build, as if like we have no AP. Let's just do a full combo by going E, auto attacking with Q, and then finishing off with a W as soon as we see our Q finish. Here we go. Okay, 2562. Now, this is probably very inaccurate what I'm doing right now. Let's just do it one more time to see if we get something similar, just to make sure it's all good. 2661. Alright. This is very strange, I know. I'm not really sure how else to test this. So let's say they got a tank, we want Lord Dominic's Regards, we want Bloodthirster as well. Let's say we give up Infinity Edge, and we want another attack speed item such as Blade of the Ruin King. So like this, the only thing we've given up is the W, and let's test our damage again. Here we go. It's 2387, which, well, it's a bit lower. Try it one more time. 2630. Alright, honestly, I'm not really sure how you're gonna how I'm gonna measure this properly, but yeah, I mean, you can decide how you want to play this champ, which is nice and interesting. Another interesting thing is if you do get the Rageblade, it counts the attack speed that you get as a base. So as you can see, Gwynso's Rangeblade, what am I on about? The Rageblade, it only gives you 25% attack speed bonus, and as you auto attack, and obviously you get more attack speed because of the item's passive, that doesn't actually count towards the E ability, so the more you know. Well, yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and that you're going to have fun with the new champion when it comes out. I'm really excited for it. Finally, a new ADC. It's been getting quite old just playing the usual. So yeah, leave a like if you enjoyed this video and want to see more in the future. And yeah, see you guys in the next video. Adios.